Friend silence. Amen. In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, we shall commence our evening services. Shall we? Afternoon services. So, shall we sing hymn 373? 373, 373首。Please be seated. Now, when I come here, I really enjoy listening to the accent of British accent. It sounds very, what's a better word to describe it? I should not say interesting, but very sweet, very nice to hear, even though sometimes I don't understand what you are trying to say. It sounds good. Are you aware of that in UK, right? This is really a very good location to go to Europe and to go to Africa. Right? No jet lag. And can you imagine that in this continent, in Africa or Europe, only UK has a GA, meaning that there are more members, more churches, and more organized. And therefore, when I come here, I always feel like UK really assume a lot of responsibility on your shoulder, actually, because you have so big a territory. We only need to learn Spanish in USA, but you need to learn a lot of languages: French, Germany, Spanish, Italian, Italian, even Russia, right? When I traveled to South America, I determined to learn Spanish, right? But later on, after I traveled to Europe, I totally give up. Just too many languages to learn. It's like in USA, you go to a state, right? Over here, a state is a country in Europe. Like really, I mean, if you like fly from San Francisco to Los Angeles, right? About 1 hour, right? Over here, 1 hour you could go to the other country already. So, but that's why I say that. But this area is really very statistic. You know, I do not speak English for a long time, I guess. Not only in SSC, I still, but and most of my time right now serving a lot of Hokkienese. So, I don't. Yeah. Strategically, UK is so critical in evangelism, especially in this part of the world. So yeah, we should pray for UK and USA. Thank God, you know, Africa used to be UA's responsibility in the early days. Then later on, the burden got released to UK. So personally, I still have some burden concerning these continents. And I feel like Africa, because a lot of USA people, we don't speak Spanish. How many of you speak Spanish over here? Yeah. We not. Yeah, I think you want to do missionary, there are also places to go in South America. But of course, Africa has more chance, has more feel, because we have been fighting in this land for many years, and AMC indeed play a very important role to cultivate manpower to go to help. Actually, for you to go there to help, it's not only you can contribute something to the church. I think according to your report, it really edified many youth spirituality. It's really is a totally different area. If you go away from the city, very different environment, and you got shocked. Your eyes are opened, and many things just make you think about life. That's why there are so many people become preachers or enroll TDP after they do missionary in Africa, because their concept of life gradually changed after they go there. So really very joyful that the Lord moved you to come here, and hopefully your heart can be burned. It can be just like Elijah, right? With his spirit and with his might, you can turn the sons to the Father and the fathers to the sons. So let's all kneel down and pray together. In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. This morning we talk about Elijah. The only path for him to go is go through a Jezreel plant to go to the other side to reach to the destination that God wants him to go. So it's a training of have a good courage. And so to serve the Lord, we shall not be timid, shall not be scared in all kinds of environments. Now, courage is a concept. It's how you see things or how you perceive stuff, future. So how do you be more brave or be of good courage? Just like we read Bible verses, it will comfort us. But the Bible really give us some concept change so that hopefully with this type of concept, no matter what type of situation you run into, you can be more courageous. Let's turn to Haggai chapter 2, verse 5. Haggai chapter 2, verse 5. Roxanne, Haggai chapter 2, verse 5. Maybe from 4 to 5. Haggai 2, 4 and 5. Roxanne, is Roxanne here? Here it says that be strong and be strong and be strong, talking to three parties, right? The leaders of religious will be strong, okay? Council members, administrators, be strong, okay? Everyone be strong, okay? So here all talk about you need to be strong. For God says that I will be with you. And when God says, well, I will be with you, do you believe in me? Then verse 5 says that this is according to the covenant that I set up with you when you go out of Egypt, right? How can you be strong? God wants you to think about the past. What kind of covenant He met with you? Did He fulfill His covenant? Did He fulfill His promise? So remember in Exodus 19, God says that he was like an eagle, brought out the Jewish people on his wing, carrying them out, and treat them as the treasure in his eyes. And they shall be a holy nation and priesthood system, right? Then God started to set up the covenant with them, and that is called Old Covenant, right? Now, God wants them to think about, in all those covenant is what? Covenant is a contract. It need to be signed by both sides. So Deuteronomy 28 says that if you do this, what kind of blessing I'm going to give it to you, right? If you keep my commandments, no matter you go in, go out, your utensil, your field, your chicken, your ducks, they will all be blessed, right? If you do not keep my commandments, no matter where you go in or go out, your utensils, your field, your chicken, and your ducks, they will be cursed. And God wants them to think about the contract you signed with me. You promised me to be a holy nation, and I promised to take good care of you. Now, did I do everything according to what I said? Do I fulfill my? Have I ever lied to you? In our language, it's like that, right? Now think about God's words, right? And think about, have God ever lied to you? Let me ask you a question. If God ever lied to you, why are you here today? If God ever lied to you, why don't you dump him into a garbage can, right? Because he is a liar. He is, right? So I want you to think about the past. Have he ever been a liar? Did he fulfill his promise? Did he keep his covenant? If he does, he is trustworthy. Then he promised that he's going to help you. He's going to be with you. Then why are you scared? That's the concept God wants you to look at it. Look at the past. Let's think about Abraham's stories, right? God promised Abraham, you go out from your hometown to the new land. I'm going to make you a great nation. I'm going to give you this land to your descendants, and your descendants will be like the stars in the skies and the sands by the ocean. Let me ask a question. Does Abraham ever see that his descendants just like as many as stars? No, right? How about, it says that he's going to be a great nation. Did Abraham ever see that he got a great nation? No, right? He sees nothing about the promise. But did God ever lie to Abraham? No, right? So in our life it's the same thing. Like if you look at your own past, right? You think about, have God ever lied to you? Is he trustworthy? Then, if you think about God, God is, to me, He's so awesome. I mean, I am in my 50-something. Sometimes I feel like without God, really, I don't know where I will. My life will come to zero, I think. Many things in my life is really not from my effort, it's from the blessing of God. I never imagined that I can be an engineer, because when I take 性向测验, how do you say 性向测验in English? Barry. When I was in J1, people ask you to take something like that. It tests what kind of field you are more suitable, right? I'm never good in science, okay? I'm never good in engineering. But because in order to get a green car, I got to change my major. That's how it is in my generation. When you go to USA, you got to major in computer science in order to get green car. Then at the first year, I'm telling you, I don't know what I was doing, right? And then the year after, I don't know, it's really God's grace. For some reason, I just feel like as if there's a key, right? Put inside here and just open it. Hey, I understand what this guy is talking about. No, I know what's going on here, right? This is like, it's never me. That's how I feel about it, right? And talking about marriage, I think 我太太是我捡到的 ，you know how do you say that？ 捡到的啦。I do not know how well in the past. I just randomly and see it's the best. Well, you don't know about it. It's fine. I'm just telling you that many things in life, right? Many things in life. When I look back, it's really God's grace, God's provision. I told you about financial situation. I never worry about financial situation because I think that so easy, right? You only have a stomach. Everything can feel inside, right? And not everything, but I mean, so easy to feel it, right? I mean, nowadays, for some reason, when you are getting old, you love to eat food, you know? You enjoy delicacy. When I was young, I really don't care. Really, I don't know. When I was young, I eat fast and just feel it and gone, right? So I don't think too much about financial situation. But for some reason, after I become a preacher, my mother said that, hey, how much did church pay you? $5, assuming. If the church pay you $5, I will give you another $5. How about that? Right? So I never imagined that. I never imagined that. Hey, how come I am, this type of blessings, right? Then guess where is the $5 came from? To my mother. The $5 come from heaven to my mother. Well, I don't want to go into detail. I'm just telling you that God is awesome. God is good to my life. But one thing is that I try my best to pursue after Him since I was young. It doesn't mean I'm always good. Sometimes I went astray. But He is good to call me back. He is good to get me going. So, brethren, think about the promise in the Bible. And have He ever lied to you? Now you think about your past, the faithfulness. Then you are able to face the challenge you are having right now. That's what He's trying to say. Remember the covenant that I had with you when you came out of Egypt. In the New Testament, right? What kind of promise Jesus gave you? Anyone? What kind of promise Jesus gave you in the New Testament? Okay, that's good. You got Holy Spirit. What else? He promised you Holy Spirit. What else? Yes, please. Huh? He has a type of place. I'll keep a place for us. Do you feel it's very warm? How come I feel so warm? Is it because I wear too much? There are so many blessings in the New Testament, right? Really, I realize in this generation what people worries most. What do you think? I think job. People worry job most. Because in USA, when you have your family, you buy many things with mortgage. Most important thing, the greatest expense, house. You put 25% down. You have 75% mortgage, right? How many of you still have loan from your college? See, USA people, most likely the parents will give you to assume some loan, right? So really, to live in USA, most of the people have loan with their life, right? So one of the things that really trouble people is that financial burdensome. Like if you do not have a job, you don't have income, maybe you will lose the insurance. Maybe you have no ability to pay your mortgage, and your house will be foreclosure by bank. That's why people worry about jobs, right? So stressed out. But every time I think about this, if you're truly able to understand Jesus' promise, very simple word. Jesus said, look at the birds in the sky. Look at the lily of the valley. Seek my kingdom. His kingdom is righteousness first, and everything All Gentile people seek will be given to you. If you truly able to take those verses into your heart, right? I'm telling you, America is a heaven. Really, you don't have nothing to worry. Everything is good. National power is good, right? Yeah, the kids enjoy many kids enjoy many things in USA. So really, just that verse, you can really take it into your heart. You have no burdens. Jesus promised you that He will never forsake you as an orphan. Oh. So those kind of promise so precious to me. And you think about those who are godly. Those who are godly before you. Did anyone become a beggar? Look at those who serve the Lord. Look at their family. Right? Deacon's family, pastor's family. Like did God allow them to be lack of anything? Oh. So I think if you just look at them and think about God's promise, you don't feel worried that one day I will serve the Lord full time. No, because you know your stomach is not very big, right? And your spouse is not a money lover, assuming. And then God can provide, you know. So yeah, in my life, I truly believe in God's promise. So you can have courage. You can have courage. Nowadays, people dare not to have children. Many of you will get married in the future, right? And many of you nowadays, people like, oh, you're bleeding. Two nose bleeding. Oh. Sorry, I thought you're bleeding. Where was I? Where was I? Oh, baby, yeah. It's really a matter of faith, you know. Like many of you, I determined not to have baby after when I got married. I told my wife, "You want to marry me? One of the conditions is that no baby. If no baby, yes, we marry. Yes, baby, no marry. Your choice, right?" And then he said, "Okay, no baby, right?" But you know, you can say so many things, but you never know what will happen, right? We said no baby, but we got a honeymoon baby. That's not. It's that's not. I did do something, okay? But things but things just go wrong, okay? So really, I mean, life is something that you cannot anticipate. I was so worried, I'm telling you. I was a graduate student. I have no green card. I just got married. I have no income. I serve again in the Chinese takeout, right? And tips, right? Really, I mean, how can I provide? It's so difficult for me to have a wife already. How can I have a children as a graduate student? You know, so worried. You know, when my wife have that symptom, keep whoop whoop whoop, right? Okay, let's find something to test, right? And really, the color changed. It says, "Hey, color changed." The color of my sky also changed. I was so worried. I said, "Oh, yeah, what should I do? Baby, you know, baby is so expensive. You know how expensive to raise baby in USA, right?" I'm telling you, two of my children all went to private school. One go to school from college to graduate 8 years. The other go to school 6.5 years, right? 6.7 years. Every year is about 50,000 a year, right? 50,000. Can you imagine that? 5万块钱呢？是不是？5万块是 50,000. Yeah. So you can imagine that. Well, so I was so stressful. I called my mom. Mom, what should I do? We can have abortion. What should I do? How come the church do not allow us the abortion? My mom just gave me a word. Don't worry, money will come with the rice in their hand. 孩子自己会带米来啦。Kids will come with the rice in their hands. Then I was really comforted. As a matter of fact, my mom was a very smart woman, you know. He do not use Bible to tell you, but always very good concept according to the Bible. That's how amazing she is. I enjoy talking to her. Even nowadays, you know, sometimes I complain, right? I say, Mom, I am not as rich as my sister. He said, never. I always complain to her. I'm always poor compared with my sister. He said, never say you are poor. If you say you are poor, you will be always poor. Say that you are rich, then you will be rich. Here's some concept that's so weird, but so true. But so true, really. If you always think, you know, money is a concept, rich or poor is a concept. A lot of people have many things, right? But they are still poor inside them. They think they are still poor. But even though you have a little, you think you are rich. Really, you are rich. That's how that's her wisdom. I really take it, right? And I know that my mom tried to tell me that God will take care. But indeed, when the baby was born, I opened her hand. No rice, huh? No rice. Where's the rice? No rice. But again, God's word never fail you. Indeed, God. Later I realized it's not that me feed my kids. It's God feed my kids. You have this type of understanding and guts. This is God's promise. He allowed a person to be born. He will take care of that person. And that's exactly my experience. After my baby was born, right? For some reason, my financial situation is getting better and better. I was still a student, right? I started to get a better job, you know, not a Chinese restaurant takeout. I was working in the doctor's office, also paid by under table, serving as a technician. Well, students is not allowed to work full time, right? But what can I do? I got to work full time, and the doctor says no problem, you can work full time. So I study daytime. Study nighttime, go to work daytime, and I realized that, you know, so God just help you because He need to feed the kids, so He open a way for you. So when you talk about do not feel timid, don't be scared. You think about your past. Think about how God have guided you, and look at it. What is covenant? What is promise? Then really you can look at different angle, and you don't feel scared anymore, right? Continue reading the Bible at that time. Verse 5. This is according to the covenant I set up with you in the when you get out of Egypt. At that time, my spirit dwell in among you, so don't be scared. Over here, another thing is that His Spirit dwell in among you, right? This is so precious, brother and sister. Whenever you feel scared, right, no matter what, you just pray and pray and pray. And for some reason, God really can strengthen you, help you, and just deliver you through. I'm going to go to South Africa after this. Last year, I also went to South Africa. And before I go there, there was robbery to our beloved brother and sister, right? They are a volunteer worker like you, but they are much older than you. This couple is older than me, actually. They do volunteer work in South Africa for many years. And we now hire a worker like John Hesburgh Church, hire a brethren to serve in local church. So 3 of them went out visiting, right? And you know, South Africa is one of the toughest, most robbery. There are a lot of robbery over here. So They want to visit a place, they do not know where to go, so they only follow GPS, right? And then GPS lead them into a town. Actually, before they enter into a town, they already noticed that there are some 巨马. How do you say 巨马? The blockage. The blockage? Some wood to block the road. Some police officers warning, right? Don't go into it, right? They are already signs. But the brother, he do not know where to go. He can only follow GPS, right? So the 巨马, how do you say 巨马? Road blocker, they are only block half side, right? So just go into the other side. When he go in, I'm telling you, there was a riot in that town. And suddenly about 20, 30 people, right? Just swarm to their car. Some with stone, some with iron chain. And shouting, just knock the door, break the window, right? And just try to say, phone, money, right? And then there's just chaotic situation. The brother feel like almost they want to flip up the car, right? And then the back of the car was break. And then some hands comes in, right? Our sister at the back do not know what to do. Just give him water, bottle water. And they said, no water. Give me your wallet, right? The sister start to pray out loud in tongue, and the two brothers in front also start to pray out loud in tongue. You know, at the time pray, right? And when they open the door, how come people disappear? And then another lady come over and knock the window. You guys can go, and they try to go away, right? But the car keys disappear. When the hands comes in, they already take away the car key. They did not even know that, you know. There's no more car key. Okay, where can we go? And then tell that lady, oh, but our car key was stolen. She go to search for the car key for us, you know. And then they are able to drive away safely. Only like the back window was broken. And of course, our brother at the driver's side, he lost his iPhone. It was iPhone 4. He said it's time to change it anyway. Okay. Do you feel scared when these type of things happen? But the Bible says over here, but my spirit do it among you, right? What is spirit? Spirit is God. Where is God? God is inside you. So whenever you run into any difficult, you can always call out to the Lord. Anytime, any place. 随时随地多方祷告. Anytime, any place, anyway, you can call out to God. And God can be with you. So why are you scared? Why do you need to scare? That is second thing God promised you, right? His spirit is with you, in among you. Let's continue reading. Verse 6 to 9. Verse 6 to 9. Verse 6 to 9. William.
Thus says the Lord of the hosts, one more, it is a little while. I will shake heaven and earth, the sea and dry land. 7, and I will shake all nations, and they shall come to the deserts of all nations. And I will fill this temple with glory, says the Lord of hosts. 8, the silver is mine, and the gold is mine.
Maybe stop here. So, because they have rebuilt the temple, they look at those who are more than 70 years of age. They think about how glorious is Solomon's temple. And look at the temple we are trying to do. Well, compared with Solomon's temple, the temple we are going to do is really nothing. That's why they feel timid. They feel, not as glorious as before. But God tells them that, don't worry, be strong, be of good courage. Because remember my covenant. What did I do with my covenant? Remember that my spirit will be among you. And remember that I am a God of shaking heaven and earth. I can shake people's heart. I can shake heaven and earth. I can shake, therefore, the silver and gold can flow into this place. So, brother, when you are timid or scared, think about this guy. He truly can shake around. He can move heaven and earth. He can move all nations for your benefit. He is almighty. He can do anything. So you don't really need to, too timid, too scared. In my life, I also feel like a lot of time I feel like, wow, I never think that God will do that for me, right? How come God moved people's heart? God can truly move people's heart. Do you remember once Mordecai, Haman tried to kill Mordecai, right? How come the king was able to save Mordecai? Huh? How come? Anybody remember that story? Sarah, how come king was able to save Mordecai? Yes. 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 Mordecai saved him. You see, this is so amazing, right? Suddenly the king just cannot fall asleep. And suddenly the king just simply say, hey, read me the story. And then he was able to read how Mordecai was so wonderful to him. And he did not did anything to Mordecai. So from that moment on, Mordecai was able to deliver from the plot of Naaman, right? So it is God shake the king's heart. So let's read a verse. Let's turn to Proverbs 21, verse 1. Proverbs 21, verse 1. 21, verse 1. Lois. Lois? Who is Lois? Oh, you are not Lois. You are Louise. But how do you respond to me? I'm calling, but Lois is Louise? Or Louise? Sorry. Oh, okay. Louise. Okay. Say it again. How do you pronounce his name? Louis is the I know. But in Chinese, Louis 不是 Louis. No?
Like Lewis. Like that, Lewis.
Louis. Anyway. 21 verse 1.
Verse 1. The king shall have joy in your strength, O Lord. And in your salvation, how great
Huh? Proverbs 21 verse 1.
Oh, I'm on Psalms. Okay, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. Like the rivers of water, he sends it wherever he wishes.
Some people worry about Trump becoming the president of the United States, Some people love him, some people hate him for some reason. But for me, king's heart is in the hands of God. You really do not need to worry. God can shake people's heart. I don't know if I share this with you. When I was doing my college in Queens, in New York, Queens College is they emphasize on liberal arts. Therefore, they make you to pass the English written test. You should reach 6 scores 1 to 10. You should reach 6 number 6 in order to graduate. Therefore, I take ESL class just to help myself for my writing ability, right? And then I go to take a test. Then the score come back. I got a 5 instead of 6, right? I was so sad. Only 1 score difference, then I can graduate, right? But I was not able to make it. So after I check the score, I go out of the office. I lower down my head and walking in the hallway. And suddenly my English teacher, professor, is running into me. And I say, hi. And he say, hi, how is your test? I said, I know you are a very good teacher, but I'm sorry, I got a score 5. He said, okay, let me take you to double check the score, right? So I go and take me to, all the person who grade the score are teacher assistants. You know that, right? Many times. It was the TA who graded the paper. So when C went to the TA, he did not say anything, just say, hey, these kids, these students, how come you give him 5? You should give him 6. And then the TA just said, okay, I'll give him 6. Then I pass. I don't need to do anything, right? That was so amazing. But of course, that also made me cannot write well and cannot speak well. So now my English writing level and speaking level is still 5. But my point is that really I never anticipate I will run into that professor. I never known that he would do a favor for me. So my point is that God really can shake people's heart. So don't feel too scared. If God is for you, who can be against you? Yeah. That's why the Lord tried to remind us. He is a God who is able to shake heaven and earth. Not only that, when you are worried about resources, the Bible here says that He can provide for resources as well. Go back to Haggai, chapter 2. Haggai chapter 2. What time shall we have a break? 45 or 30? 2:30. Okay, 10 minutes. Haggai chapter 2. Please read from 8 to 9. 8 to 9. Catherine.
Verse 8. The silver is mine and the gold is mine, says the Lord of hosts. 9. The glory of the modern temple shall be greater than the former, says the Lord of hosts. And in this place I will give peace, says the Lord of hosts.
Yes, the Lord says that silver and gold is mine, and the glory will fill in the temple in the future. Many times we are scared because we are lacking of resources. Like maybe you are too young to handle church building, right? But our financial affairs are pray very hard when it comes to construction. Pray very hard, especially. One of the financial affairs told me that sometimes he cannot fall asleep at night time because think about how big a project we have and how much money we have, right? But it's really amazing. Sometimes if we see God is working, God will provide. I just came from. I am helping Brooklyn Church right now in New York, and 1 week before I become a resident preacher of Brooklyn Church, they signed a contract to buy a $1.62 million place for church building, and the church only have about. Who is from Brooklyn? Are you from Brooklyn? No. You're from Flushing. Who is from Brooklyn over here? Nobody from Brooklyn. They are really lacking of funds. But you know what? Within about a few months, we are able to collect about $1 million. Really, God can provide silver and gold. And some very touching story. I went to South Africa. I dare not to tell them, hey, because South Africa is very far from USA, right? How can you tell people that, hey, we need help, come and help us, right? But Brother John Huang from Irvine just happened to be with me in South Africa. And Brother John Huang simply tell them, hey, Brooklyn need help. And guess what? What South Africa do? What Johannesburg Church do? It says that this time, our SSC's donation, every SSC, people donate, right? SSC donation of this time, we were donated to Brooklyn Church. I was so touched. This is so amazing. And one church in California, they through congregational meeting, everybody vote yes, donate 10万块钱. How much? 100,000. All the congregation said yes, over 100,000 to Brooklyn Church, and borrow another 100,000 to Brooklyn Church. That is a loan, right? Free money. not free money. I mean, interest-free money. Yeah, interest-free money. That is so touching, you know. So really, if God wants to move people's heart, silver and gold is God. A lot of times you worry about this, you worry about that. Just if God wants, just draw a line, then you are able to accomplish your goal. Really, just do something. Move His finger, you are able to accomplish your goal. I used to help Hawaii Church. Hawaii Church is not well-to-do church. Member of Hawaii, they are poor. They are poor, right? And people, when we are trying to look for a 1 million project, many people are worried too. But a deacon now had a vision. It says that a lot of silver coin and gold coin simply drop down from heaven. All I need to do is take out her what? 围裙啊. What is 围裙? Apron. Just pull out her apron, and all the silver and gold come inside. And there are really a lot of mainland USA also help a lot because God shaped the hearts in among different churches. So, brethren, again, resources God can also shake. So, by all this, God wants you to change your concept. Serve the Lord. You might have a lot of consideration, worries. But again, God tried to use His own way to assure you that you shall be of good courage. So when He tell you that, be strong, do not scare, it's not only a what? 风凉话. It's not only a saying, try to comfort you. He provide you with ways to think differently. Really, a lot of time it's only your concept got locked. Your concept got locked. When you face the sunshine, the shadow is at your back. When you turn away, you only focus the shadow. You will have insomnia all the time. But just turn away your angle, look at the sun, and everything just changed. Right? So really, timidity, scary, is only here. It's only here. Depends on what you are looking at. This is when we serve the Lord. This is something that we hope we can be trained, just like Elijah was trained to go through that road, so he can be brave. He can be brave. All right, let's turn back to 1 Kings, chapter 17. Let's try to read the same verse again. Verse 17. Sorry, not same verse. 10 to 13. 10 to 13. Sarah, C-E-R-A. How do you pronounce your name? Kara or Sarah? Sarah, not Kara. Okay, thank you.
So he rose and went to Zarephath, and when he came to the gate of the city, indeed a widow was there gathering sticks. And he called to her and said, Bring me a little water in a cup, and a drink. 11. And as she was going to get it, he called to her and said, Please bring me a morsel of bread in your hand. 12. So she said, As the Lord your God lives, I do not have bread, only a handful of flour and a little oil in a jar. See, I'm gathering a couple of sticks, that I may go in and prepare it for myself and my son. Then we eat it and die. 13. And Elijah said to her, Do not fear, go and do as you have said, but make me a small cake from it first.
Yeah, to me this is if you put your own shoes in Elijah's, if you put yourself in Elijah's shoes, right? Can you imagine that your heart was trembling when you passed by Jezreel? And at that time, there was no raven to feed you with meat anymore. And there's no brook to offer you with water anymore. And there was, he could He could have traveled by feet, and it was a long journey. It's foreign land. He was like what? You can imagine that he was hungry and dirty and tiresome and mentally stressed because he got to go through dangerous situation. And then finally reached the gate. And he saw a woman, and he believed, he remembered God says that widow. And I know he knows that she's the widow, right? So she asked for water, and that widow happened to know that he's a man of God. So she gave her some water, and then she asked for bread. But the woman says, well, bread, I only have a handful of flowers and little oil, right? Do your translation say how many sticks is enough to cook to bake the bread? Does your translation say how many sticks? Huh? How many sticks to use to bake the cake? Anyone? Couple? Huh? Couple? Two. Who said two? Chinese Bible said two. You check strong notes of the Hebrew. It also said two, right? I used to be a farm boy. I know. I used to cook for pigs. 2 sticks were never enough for pigs' food because I have 12 piggies and two mother pigs. And when you cook for piggy, right, you got to feed wood after wood, right? That was my job. So I know 2 sticks cannot do anything. So you can see how small is the bread. And so we go to the town, the woman tells you 2 sticks is enough to cook my bread, and it's only a handful, a little oil. How do you feel? Mentally already stressed, right? Physically you are fatigued already, and then you hope that maybe this widow can provide you with good stuff. Now tell you only no vegetable, no nothing, not just flour and oil. Actually only bread and little. I think this is really very stressed out, isn't it? So sometimes when we are under training, because sometimes you stress, want to make sure that you are able to handle stress. Serving the Lord, sometimes you will run into a lot of stressful moment. Everything do not go to your way. Mentally, physically, you are tired, you are fatigued. Just like you hear from Sister Amy, right? At nighttime, no sleep, no food. Did he say that they share something together? What did they share together to eat together? Huh? A pack of biscuit between how many people? 5 people. And then go there, no time for half an hour for food. Is that right? No time for food. And then you got to preach. And then her brother said, okay, I can help you. But he thought about the brother is also... so you can see how stressed it is. That's why he flipped to the Bible and said, I look up to the Lord, right? Something like that, right? Psalm 121, right? So you can see this is also... Is that very stressful as well? A lot of time God allow you to go through this. Remember the hymn we just said, little flock, fear not, little flock. God have choose the path for you to. Second verse. Is that right? God choose the path for you to. Huh? Anybody remember that verse? Huh? Select a path you must tread. Yeah. God select a path you must tread. And even though it could be very stressed out, right? Stressful. Yet, sometimes it is good to mold you or to make you strong. We'll continue to discuss about it next section. Let's pray in silence. Amen.